Well, hello everyone. This is Robin Carter with Robin's Creations. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas, and today I am here to do the unboxing of the September 2025 paper pumpkin kit named Fall for Toile. So today is September 16th. I actually got this kit from my downline that lives real close. Hers came in today. Now mine still says UPS doesn't have possession of my kit, but she was nice enough to give me hers, and I'll give her mine when it comes in to do this unboxing. So this is extra early, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Before I begin, let me welcome you to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, and I also want to thank each and every one of my YouTube subscribers. We are really close to reaching 5,200 subscribers. So if you have yet to subscribe or are new to my channel, I'd be so grateful if you would hit that subscribe button. When you see things you like in this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know you are enjoying these videos. It has been a while since I published. Just been very busy with things, family and extended family. So I'm glad to finally have this kit and be able to do a video with you. So let me switch to hands down so I can share the upcoming kits and stuff. Okay, so this is the next quarter of paper pumpkin kits. So going on now is the subscription period for the Cozy Christmas paper pumpkin kit. You can see it comes in a nice little coordinating box, and it is going to be, it says 3 cards of 3 designs for a total of 9 with coordinating envelopes. And I'm reading this. Okay, it just says create heartfelt. I always like to see what the Stampin' Spot is. It's going to be pecan pie. I don't think we've had that yet in a paper pumpkin kit, so that'll be a new ink spot for us. And then here's November and December, and I'll highlight those as we get to those. But also, if you are a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can purchase these add-on dies already for this quarter. The item number is 167855. And then don't forget, I did just look, the ones for the previous quarter are still available. Let me see, I had pulled those, so I had those. So for this kit, it's called the Circle of Season. I always make a little photocopy of the die so I know what comes in there. But even though this made the strawberry, it's also going to work for the acorn. So that'll be nice to use, as well as this little leaf. And of course, any of the circles or the sentiments are good to use anytime. So these are a great value at $12. If you have yet to purchase these, the item number for the Circle of Season, which will coordinate with this September kit, is 167277. So I wanted to share that. Now, also going on is the mini catalog, and I'm going to highlight a few things that I have here to my side after the unboxing. But I thought I would get to the unboxing first because that's what we're here to do. So the only thing I have done is taken off the saran wrap, and I have my little shipping label upside down here because we'll use that in a second. So let's see what's in store this month. Okay, a nice Cajun Craze ink spot, and then a very cute stamp set. So before we get to that, I'd like to remind everyone, you want to test your stamps. Even if you don't think you're going to do this kit right away, go ahead and test your stamp. So that's what I've saved my label here for. And I just take off the little flimsy part. This is the thing I lose most of the time, so I'm going to set it in the box. And then I just have a gray granite ink, full-size pad here just for ease of inking this. If this is your first kit and this is the only ink spot you have, it's perfectly fine to use your ink spot to test them, or any ink really. Now, I also remind you, this is not the smooth stamping paper, so sometimes it's not as crisp as an image. So let's see if I inked it all up. So I just leave them on the thicker piece and ink it up and press it down. Okay, those look all fine. So sometimes I've had one where it wasn't etched all the way. So then your sentiment would not be as clear. So let me get my chamois and just wipe these off. And then I'll read the sentiments to you. All right, put this little flimsy thing back on there. Okay, so these stamps look great for fall. Wishing you the happiest of days. So that could be any season. Thankful, warm wishes. So that would work even in the winter time. Thinking of you. That's it. I like the size of that one. And then look at the cute pumpkins and acorns. And we have some new flying, I'm guessing ducks or swan. So, or geese, I guess I should say, not swan. I like that we have new birds. And then this leaf looks very close to the add-on die, and we get a couple other leaves, which will be great for fall. So, let's get to the unboxing. I like the stamp set. Let me close up my ink so I don't get it all over the place. All right, the best thing I know to do is just dump your box upside down. That gets it out real easy. And then we have this nice tissue. This is a traditional color, so everything is like normal. It's not a special box or anything. Now, this starts our contents, but if you're new, know that the instructions are on the back. So let me grab some scissors. And when I cut into my kit, I try to go where the cardboard is. That way I don't damage any material while I'm sticking my scissors in here. And then I just peel this away. Okay, let's start with the instructions. I want to see the coordinating colors to this. So it's on the back, and then as well as on the back is a little printout of the stamps. And note that here, if they're ever not, they'll say at what percentage they are. So these are at 100%. I do go ahead and store this in my paper pumpkin sleeve. I think I have one of August. So I store them in these Avery L envelopes, and I make this printout here. And I go ahead and store the one they give us in here. They do say to keep your photopolymer stamps out of light, so that helps as well as a back covering. And then, since we no longer get our sentiments printed on that cellophane piece, I use this when I'm going to put my stamps up. So I can show you that. Well, I'll show you that at the end of the video. Let's get to the unboxing. I want to see all these goodies. Okay, so the coordinating colors are Cajun Craze, of course. That's our ink spot. Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Timid Tiger, and a metallic chocolate bronze. So that'll be interesting to see here in a second. All right, let me get out my sleeve. I did finish all of August, so I have a empty envelope here to store all my goodies in. Instead of the box, they save a whole lot of space, and they're nice and tidy in here. So these envelopes, if you're new, are part of what I call my favorite things. This is about 10 by 7 or so, and it holds paper pumpkin kits great, as well as memories and more and things like that. So I do store my whole kit in there. I'll go ahead and put this in there so I don't lose it either. Okay, so we have some ribbon. It looks like pecan pie, and I think it's strips. Now, I'm not going to open this package. I can see pretty much it's trimmed, and it looks like it's for this card. So you would just fold it over. So that tells me there should be 3 of these strips, since it's 3 each of each design. We have a nice bit of mini dimensionals and some glue dots. And then here are the envelopes. So let's see, we should have 3 of each one. I'll turn it this way so it's right side up for you. Now this pattern is much like the DSP, which I'm going to show you after we do the unboxing. I think they're all going to be the same, just in different colors. So that one looks more pumpkin pie than Cajun Craze. That one looks pecan pie. And this one looks like Cajun Craze to me. So it's all the same design. We'll see if I use those as an alternative or not. And then we have the card bases. Now I know this is like the DSP, and I'll show you, you know what, we should get that out and compare to see if it's the same size. Let me grab that DSP. Okay, so here's the DSP. So this is quite a bit larger of an image. I guess I can bring it into the screen, but it's the same pattern. I think exactly the same, just in a smaller percentage. You know, these trees are much larger than deer. So know that you can always purchase this DSP. It's one of the new things in the mini catalog, and I'll go through the rest of those later because I have another one I want to show you. So the good thing is it's double-sided, so we can at least get double the cards from this, but you know I usually make more if you follow my YouTube channel. Oh, this is pretty. So it looks like a little overlay. I kind of like to have the instructions here to look. Yeah, so that's just a what I call a card front. Okay, and it looks like those are not for this card. They're for the darker base. Then we have 1, 2, 3 of those, and it has like a linen look to it. It may be hard to see, but again, double-sided print, which you guys know I always love. And let's skip to these, and this is a pattern in the DSP as well. Let me thumb through for it. Something special about this DSP, this one is normally we get 2 or 6 sheets of double-sided, 2 of 6 for a total of 12. This one is you get 3 sheets of each, so 4 different patterns. And I'm hoping, there it is, it's on the back of this one. Let's compare. So that looks exactly the same. It's just a slightly different color. Can you see that? So if you wanted to extend your kit by just getting this DSP, you could do that as well. I really like the coloring of this designer series paper, which is what I call DSP. It's nice and fallish. Okay, and then we have, so I'm guessing this is the, what did they call it? The chocolate, metallic chocolate bronze. And so that's in these leaves. I'll go ahead and grab this one. It's wanting to come out anyway. And there is it. It's real shiny. I'm trying to get it to shine. Well, it's shining down there. Okay. And these little things I like to keep in my smaller envelopes, which are 5 by 7, to keep all those components. And as well as these card fronts. Okay, and then the card bases fit in here, as well as the envelopes, so long as you don't open them up first. When you open them up, they're too tall, but these fit in here nice and neat. So then we have only that much space versus the whole box. All right, let's continue to go through this. We have some nice circles, and they are there, you can see the shine. They are, what's that called? Foiled. That's my word I'm looking for. So some nice circles there. You know what? Let's compare. Wonder how that compares to the circle in our add-on dies. So it looks right at the same size. So at least we know if we need more circles, they may not be foiled, but we can have the same size. They'll be stitched instead, which is always nice. So then we have some that are colored with a light wash of, it looks like crumb cake. And then we have some flags in here as well. Flagged ends on just one end. Okay, so this one's too tall. I'm going to put the one I punched out in here so I don't lose it. And this will have to go in the larger sheet. I generally punch them all out and put them in a smaller envelope to start. Okay, oh, this is looking very nice. I really like that. Let's see, let's flip it over and see how they used it. Okay, it's a tree. It goes this way, and so I really like that. But let me show you the tree of the coordinating stamp set and die bundle. It makes a beautiful tree as well, and I don't think I've showed that yet. Okay, and then we have some nice die cuts of leaves right here, and pumpkins, and a little fox. I may have too much stuff on my desk. It's not showing that well. So let's put these back up here on the cardboard so you can see them better. So some nice die cuts. But I'm really like the stamp we received, so we can make lots of pumpkins for alternatives with this kit. Let's stick these in here, and then a nice thankful sentiment. I try to do this because if I don't do it now, I'll go to look for it later and I'll be looking all over the place. Don't ask me how things grow legs and walk off. Okay, so that is everything in our kit. Like I said, if you are new to my channel, know that I generally make at least double, usually 3 times as many cards, cutting up the cards in envelopes and adding some additional paper or cardstock or DSP. But I want to go ahead and highlight the coordinating. It's actually a suite that goes with this kit. It's called the Autumn Toile suite, and this just shows some examples. Let me show you the tree I made. I was going to play with these a whole lot and just ran out of time to do that. But look at the size of this tree. It's quite large. It's the size of my whole palm there. And a tip of coloring these is where our ink spots really are helpful, because I did put it in my Stamparatus, which if you have a MISTI, it will work just the same. I inked up just the kind of top part with Cajun Craze, and then I kind of went along with my spot and did the best I could with the early espresso. And then I went in and colored with pecan pie, and I don't know if that shows, but it is etched along the bark there, so it gives it some nice dimension. And then I went in with just a marker to color some of the branches and inside the tree. So let me show you the die so you can get another idea of how that works. So I can show you this die set. So when there's 2 pages here, I do go ahead and put magnets on both page, and I say, okay, there's 3 of 9 on this one and 6 of 9 on that one. That way I'm not forgetting that I have those other dies when I see the 3 of. So it is quite a bit of dies, but look at the size of this tree. This, I can measure this part for you. It is almost a little less than 5 inches. So a good size. Now what I did is I did die cut this first, okay, and then after I stamped it, I kind of lined up where the branches were, and that's how I went in and cut that second. I guess you could do all in one. I just did it separately, so there's a little tip on that. Okay, and then there's this little deer with a nice little landscape scene, much like the card bases were in there. There's also, here's the stamp set, there's a little reindeer here, and then this is like some leaves for the tree. Now I haven't played with this yet. I don't know if I'm going to like those on the tree or not. I really like it just like it is there, so I haven't played with that one yet. And then we have another tree, and of course these cut out the other die cut pieces inside. So that is that set. Now this, like I said, this was a suite, so there's a whole nother set, and I really like the scene of these, but it's much, you know, if I had to pick one, I would pick this one, because we do have pumpkin stamps like in the next set here. So although this one's beautiful as well, so it has larger pumpkins and acorns and leaves, but some nice fall sentiments as well. Now I did put the a cut file on my Etsy shop for these sentiments. So if you're new, I do have an Etsy shop where I create cut files for the sentiments. So you can always go there. There's a link in the video description of this box, or you can always go to my title YouTube page and then click about, and there's a link there to my Etsy shop to stop my Stampin' Up shop, where you can shop 24 hours a day, and also my Amazon storefront where I share my favorite things. So here you can see I've started playing with those just before I got this kit. and I've stamped and die cut some of these images. So that would help expand this kit as well. Let me show you the beautiful background that this one makes. Let me see where I put it. Here it is. So it's kind of messed up. I think I showed this earlier, but it cuts out not the frame, so it cuts out the center. So you would cut this to the size of cardstock you would want, and then die cut the center out of it like that. I do recommend that you, when you die cut this, do it upside down. It helps, I don't know, it helps me get the image in first time. I run it through and back, and then I have no problem getting it off. You might want to use adhesive sheets because there are a few places where you could put little dots of glue or something, but an adhesive sheet also helps get all the little bits and pieces out when you die cut it, because there's quite a bit of cutouts in this one. But I think it makes a beautiful background. Next time I try it, I'm going to just take my blending brush on white paper and do some Cajun craze, maybe some what's the new color for Darling Duckling, that's it, and then maybe some cherry cobbler or something, and that way I'd have different colors of leaves all on this. That's just an idea I had. Okay, and the stamp set for it is right here. Like I said, it has fall sentiments as well as some pumpkin and acorns, which we have in our paper pumpkin kit. So like I said, if I had to pick one, I would pick this one. Okay, that is here. Let me not lose my tree there. And they do give you some examples. Okay, and I pointed this out. Here it shows the DSP. There's 4 patterns. And then don't miss this page, page 42. This is a one sheet wonder. So they kind of cut up the cards like that. It's probably 4, 8, and then I'm sorry, probably 5 1/4 and 5 1/4, leaving the rest there. And they made these cards with 1 sheet of designer series paper. I like that they showed that. Okay, and then okay, I'm going to show you some other things I got. I think I did this already. If I did, I apologize. But I did get this, A Child is Born. Now I've played with this a little, and I drew in some little eyes and nose, and I don't know what I did with it, so because they weren't in the case. I am going to put out a cut file for the sentiments for this stamp set as well. I'll probably do that today or tomorrow when I work on the cut file for the paper pumpkin stamps. Okay, and then one more, this Peace on Earth, and I made just a real simple card. I used the embossing folder in basic beige, and like I said, this is a bundle, but none of the dies go with the stamps. So the stamp set is really not just Christmas. This is Peace on Earth is maybe the only Christmas sentiment, and I really like the size of these other sentiments. So I'm working on a cut file with these, and we'll try to get those out as soon as possible. But I really loved these little birds, the detail and the wings, and I thought that just made a real simple card to send out with the birds really are the star of the show there, as well as the embossing folder. Okay, so that's enough for me today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you made it this far. If you did, thanks. And the best compliment you can give me is a thumbs up to this video. Leave me a comment and share this with your other paper crafting friends. And of course, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. There'll be a real easy button to hit that shows my picture to subscribe. So until my next video, everyone, and I forgot to switch to myself. So until my next video, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.